Perfect. So that is 3 o'clock. So good afternoon, everyone who's already in the webinar. We'll be getting going on the road. So my name is Charles, and welcome to the Business Agility Workout. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kick things off with a little poll coming into the conversation. So we've sort of got around 2 minutes, and I'll just sort of quickly move over to the introduction and welcome. So first things first, obviously in the poll, you're going to see a question is anyone actually familiar who with DottedSign are at the moment? It would be great to know if you are. If not, there's a little poll to fill in there. But in today's webinar, we are going to cover how digitalisation drives business agility with a specific focus around e-signatures and how they sort of fit into this conversation and allows you to move faster, change better, and grow simpler. Sam, nice to see you, and welcome to join the webinar. There's a little poll. I just sort of want to understand where people are, if you're already aware of who DottedSign are or not. Obviously, my name is Charles. I'm the UK account manager for DottedSign here, and we'll move on shortly, but I just sort of want to understand who actually knows around DottedSign first. And the outcomes of today is at the end of this call, I'll be giving you 5 workout tips for becoming more agile for adoption of digital onboarding. So that poll, so I've got around a minute left. I'll give it one more minute to sort of see if anyone is aware of who DottedSign is at the moment. Hope you've all had a good day so far. If you are based in the UK like I am, it's been a bit of an interesting day. The weather's sort of getting there, so yeah. Hopefully everyone also has functionality with the chat feature. So if you guys do have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to post them into chat. Myself will pick them up along with one of my colleagues as well. We can sort of highlight and run through these as well. But if we don't get around to answering them during the webinar, my email address will sort of be at the end, and I'm happy to sort of stay for 5-10 minutes at the end of the call where we can sort of run through some of them questions as well. Perfect. So the poll is just about to close overall. Perfect. So overall, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Some of you are aware of who DottedSign are, and some of you aren't, and that's not to worry at all. So I'll just sort of give you a quick overview of who DottedSign are. We are the most comprehensive, cost-effective, and easy to adopt e-signature solution, enabling businesses around the world to become more agile without compromising security. As you can see on the screen, my name is Charles Kelly Davis. I am the UK expert and business lead for DottedSign. And a little fact on it says is I'm a football fanatic. So some of you may notice behind my screen, there's a signed shirt of Lionel Messi. And a little well-known fact is his first ever contract for Barcelona was actually signed on a napkin. And how the times have changed and what it would have been like if he was in this day and age, it would have been signed by an e-signature, most likely. So sort of just moving the slide forward, obviously the key to business agility is digitalisation. And we all know in the ever-changing environment that the world is evolving on a daily basis. In the UK alone, we are seeing drastic changes at an alarming rate. Businesses need to evolve to keep up with the trends. And some of the figures that you can see on the screen here at the moment are quite alarming. And over the upcoming slides, we're going to cover some of the topics on how we can support business owners on that journey to a full digitalisation process. So digital onboarding has become increasingly popular over the sort of last decade, and most of you will have experienced this, particularly during the pandemic phase. E-signatures can fit into any part of the onboarding phase, from signing a contract, when that could be you had a new job offer or it's a contract internally, to particular documents like a non-disclosure agreement. And doing this effectively has many benefits, which we'll touch on more shortly. One of the main benefits of this is allowing your business to move faster. And again, you'll sort of see these 3 headings popping up quite a lot. Is gone are the days of having to wait up to 2 weeks from the moment a contract is created to this being signed. And the need to have to chase a person on a regular basis or wait for a person to be with you at the same time, at the same place, is gone now. And a little fact around this side of things is our clients have seen an average of just 28 minutes to get a contract signed, reduced from that 2 weeks, which is a very stark difference. You will also see the benefit of reducing human error and increasing your compliance and governance. Nearly all e-signature platforms will have an audit trail capability, and will also have regular updates to ensure that you meet all the regulations and reduce the time spent ensuring you have these covered. And we'll touch on this point a little bit more later on in the webinar, which is quite a crucial element of our platform specifically. And lastly, you'll be able to increase your scaling with a business whilst also cutting costs. So with an e-signature solution, staff have the ability to increase the output and process more documents in a reduced time. So some of our existing clients have seen internal document process time reduced from 4 hours down to just 15 minutes. So just want to sort of pause here as well, and there's another little question that we'd like to bring into the poll. So while I'm just loading that up, it will be with you guys very shortly. Just want to raise the question, sort of, if out of interest, if any of you guys actually implemented any systems internally, and if you have, what sort of type of struggles did you have around this side of things? And whilst that poll's going in the background, just sort of wanted to share some further information around this. If so, 73% of businesses are planning to adopt digital onboarding, but the question still remains is, how do we ensure that those plans are delivered? We'll sort of have a little discussion around this side of things shortly, but we can sort of cover of how crucial e-signatures can have an impact on agility in your business as well. So just sort of interested to see quite a few of you have already implemented, which is good to know. And this is sort of, we can then cover if you've got the e-signature part right, but if you fall within one of those 73% of businesses that are planning to adopt, we can guide you along the process as well. Just waiting for the final few people at the moment to submit the poll. Perfect. So sort of just to end line the last 10 seconds, as you can also see on the slides, it sort of points out around how crucial perfecting that digital onboarding process can be across the board. So the poll should have the results with you guys shortly. Overall, it's quite an interesting result of it. Most of you here have already onboarded something, which is really good to see. And for the guys you haven't, hopefully the next few slides are going to be really beneficial so you guys can understand around this side of things a bit further. So as you can see on the screen now is Forrester Research implemented and found that the top 3 benefits of a digital agreement were a better customer experience, faster deal cycles, and a lower change of errors. And overall, this gives us the understanding that all of the above reduces that risk of human error. And that's one of the most crucial side of things in businesses that we're finding is reducing that type of risk will naturally increase all 3 these type of things here. So overall here is agility in action is the benefits, and I will have another poll question for you guys shortly, is around the envelope cost, which some of you may be aware and some of you don't, but if you are an existing e-signature platform user, you may have already understand the term of what an envelope cost is. And it'll be interesting to understand is how do you guys know how much this is costing your business on a sort of annually basis? So the poll is sort of up there now for you guys. But on this side of things, and that example of this is an e-signature solution reduces the need to print, send, sign, return, store, and process all of those documents manually. And the key side of this things is it takes a lot of time and a lot of human resource. And a figure around this is it's estimated that it can cost £31 per customer agreement, and that can also add up to 3% of your company's overall revenue. And with everyone, especially if you're based in the UK, around the economy situation, that can make a huge difference to where we are going along the process. So just sort of looking at some of you guys do have a monthly envelope cost. If you're happy to sort of share, it would be interesting to understand if you guys could put that in the chat, sort of what you are looking at your average spending on a monthly basis at the moment. because obviously we are aware that some of our market leaders do charge an envelope cost. Some information around our business account that we do run is we don't have an envelope cost. So this is one way that those businesses can get some hidden costs around you. We do not have that side of things there. So it's a bit of a mixture of 50-50. So it'd be interesting to have a conversation with some of you after that. Around that side of things there. But overall, some of the benefits here is it eliminates the costs, make employees significantly more productive. Everyone wants to be focused on the things that we need to be doing, and it can accelerate your revenue across the board. So moving on to this screen here is more businesses are now seeing an increased amount of staff and clients functioning in a digital world. The graph on the screen highlights that a third of businesses are using digital signatures at least several times a week, and customers expect this due to this being more convenient and reliable, which is quite interesting. This obviously was produced by Deloitte this year. So with, again, the ongoing changes and a shift in the generation of millennials, and fortunately, I do sort of fall within that bracket, even though I may not look it, is they actually make up 50% of the workforce in the UK alone and around 25% of the UK population. So what we're now seeing is a huge shift in terms of the population expecting digital onboarding, and that figure actually comes there to 61%, and 82% of them wishing companies offered more documents that could be signed via this method. So for people in startups, scale-ups, whether you're working in one of the sort of larger businesses, there's quite a stark fact that 82% are expecting more of us to be using these signatures. And one of the sort of figures there is 73% believe that an offer is being kept behind the times. This is also a shift. If your business is not willing or able to keep up, they're at risk of either losing staff or potentially losing clients along the way. So whilst we've sort of been talking a lot around e-signatures can save you time, money, we've not really touched on one of the biggest talking points on the globe at the moment around sustainability and how much of an impact this can have. Around 1 in 7 working adults in the UK alone works exclusively from home between April and May 2022. And this had a big shift from wet signatures going to that e-signature world. And this eliminates a large amount of printing of paper. And another little figure and stat for you guys is according to Pearsoft in 2021, the average worker used 10,000 sheets of paper each year, which I think is quite a shocking figure across the board. If you think how many people, especially sort of in each type of business, in the office I work in, there's 30 people, that is potentially 300,000 sheets in a year. DottedSign alone has enabled more than 2.4 million documents to be signed digitally alone already. So why not come along with a revolution? So sort of just want to sort of have a quick pause here as well. And over the next few slides, I want to introduce DottedSign in further detail and how we can allow your business, again, to move faster, change better, and grow simpler. So with DottedSign, you have the ability to sign documents 24/7 from anywhere on the globe via either our portal online or utilizing our app, which is available on Apple and Android devices. Our visualized signing process, which you can also see on the screen in the bigger desktop right version, allows you to track all documents in real time and chase the source in real time as well to ensure there's no further delays. So rather than you having to try and guess and work out where that piece of paper, which could have been on your desk, is now disappeared, you have full visibility, you know the correct person at all times, and you also have the ability to send a single document or to multiple groups of signers in one go with our bulk send feature. Again, DottedSign is tailored for all teams of all sizes, whether you're a one-man band or you're a 2,000-man business to 30. We can cater for everyone. We currently have an API integration covering all business needs, and we are currently working on some bespoke integrations, which will be available in the coming months. So if you guys don't already follow us on LinkedIn or any other sort of form of social media, now will be a really good time because some of that information will be coming out for more news around this. If you would be keen to sort of learn a bit more around the API integrations we currently offer, please feel free to speak to me at the end of the session, or I can drop you an email after this as well, where I can run you through what options we have currently as well. As I mentioned earlier on, sort of secure, legal and reliable is a key area for us. So as you can sort of see, we have frequent changes on a global basis to regulations. DottedSign works as an Adobe approved trust list to ensure that all the documents meet the requirements. Our audit trial functionality, which is highlighted on the screen, allows for an in-depth view down to granular detail, such as the IP address and the device which was used for that signature. This gives all parties, the client and the customer, that security and confidence across the board. Touching on the last slide, we sort of had this, things we didn't mention first of all, is our template feature, which also allows for increased productivity and upload your most frequent documents. So whether you have a contract which is predominantly used, you can upload this with all the pre-fields applied and ability to customize this to your company's branding. Again, this will increase your productivity across staff and reduce time on repetitive tasks, which can be cut down. So sort of over the next few slides, I just sort of want to highlight two of our key clients already who have been using the platform for a while. Cyberbiz is a fast-growing e-commerce platform provider with over 20,000 customers and embraced digital onboarding with the help of DottedSign. Charlotte Marr, who's one of the legal managers, has left a little quote for you guys to read across the board. But whilst you're reading that, the average sort of wait time from content creation to sign-in has been reduced from 2 weeks down to 28 minutes. The internal document processing time has reduced from 4 hours down to just 15 minutes. And internally, there's, again, without having the massive filing cabinets and trying to hunt for documents, there's no more lost contracts because it's all stored within their Google Drive via integrations. Another case study here is with Slasify, who's a remote talent management platform. Slasify helps build remote distributed teams by managing the cross-border compliance needs of international businesses when they onboard employees, contracts, and supporting documents. Again, Carlos Wang, who's the CEO, has left a little quotation for everyone to read through, but simply to agree contracts remotely 24/7. And this is the beauty with e-signature solutions, is it eliminates that need to be in the office between working hours and not being able to get that document moved through. With DottedSign, you have the ability of looking on your phone whenever and get it signed. It's easy for customer HR managers to track performance and status across the business. So within the DottedSign platform, you also have a dashboard where you can monitor all of your staff's contracts, where they're being sent, how many they've sent, what's the status, what's the average time of completion of contracts. So you can really narrow down and highlight where areas need to be improved on. And secure ID verification of signatories. So we'll touch on that a bit more shortly. DottedSign is also ranked on G2, which is the leading peer-reviewed source of business software platforms and has over 2 million user ratings from all sectors. On the screen is some of our awards that we've actually won on there and some quotations and reviews left by existing partners. DottedSign is currently a market leader, and we have multiple of our other market leaders also on their platform, but we do currently rank above most of our competitors with a score of 4.7 out of 5. So as you can see on this slide here, compared to one of our other market leaders, for a cost of £13 compared to 33, which is £20 cheaper on a monthly basis, we have all of the features plus more available to you. But I also wanted to highlight a key fact in our business plan is that we do not have any envelope costs, which can be a hidden cost compared to other e-signature companies. An example around another option is the secure signer authentication. Ours comes as part of the package, whereas this market leader here charges you 40p per SMS. So there is a lot of hidden costs that go in behind the scenes, whereas ours, there isn't. We like to highlight that across the board. So we're coming towards the end, and I just sort of wanted to highlight, as I said at the start of the webinar, the 5 business agility tips for digital onboarding. So mapping your customer onboarding journey. And the tip around this is draw a visual map of your current onboarding process, including all of the touch points, interactions, and exchanges of data. Try a mystery shopper approach of what I'd like to say is where you experience that onboarding as a customer would, whether that's yourself, whether you get another member of your staff to come and do this, or it could be a friend. So they can identify opportunities to introduce e-signature processes or any other processes that may be required. Assess effort levels and friction points for customers. And a key objective in digital onboarding is eliminating friction and reducing the effort. To get there, you first need to record a benchmark of how much effort customers extend in the onboarding process. So try polling customers for their customer effort score before, during, and after you've introduced the optimum e-signature solution. And around this, I would always recommend to do this 3 to 4 times a year, probably once each quarter. So you're always optimizing that process throughout. Implement solutions to reduce friction points. So looking at your onboarding process, identify which customer touchpoints require the most effort and find technology or systems you can put in place to reduce friction. So e-signature should be one of your first considerations, and ask for customer feedback on each stage of your process as you implement these changes. Understand your compliance obligations. So numerous industry and country specific regulations and standards, which might be relevant to your organization, are always changing. So when embracing these signature solutions, it's essential that you choose a solution that is fully compliant so you can benefit from the agility that digital onboarding really does bring. And the final point is aim to deliver a 24/7 digital onboarding experience. As you evaluate e-signature solutions, be sure to prioritize the ability to digitally onboard any customer using any device from any location. This will maximize the agility of your business to reach new markets and acquire a greater number of customers. So we have reached the overall end of the slides I have. Thank you all for joining us on this session. We would like to invite you all to a free trial of our business account, which is the most extensive package. And that sort of covers all of the areas around templates, the audit trial features and the dashboard. And it's an easy process. So as you can see on the screen, if you scan the QR code, and I'll sort of just quickly run through a demonstration of this as well and hold my phone up for you guys. Hopefully you can all sort of see how this comes on the screen. It's a simple process of inserting your email address and signing up to our DottedSign account. From there, you'll be able to enter a free trial. If you do have any questions, please feel free to type this into the chat and I will be on hand to answer any questions you may have. But alternatively, as you can see, my email is on the screen there. Please feel free to reach out and ask any questions you may have over there. If you do manage to sign up to the trial, it would be great to sort of get in touch with you later this week or early next week and understand how you're finding it and guide you along the process. But it's been a great pleasure to meet you all, and thank you very much. If you do have any questions, like I said, please stay around and we'll pick it up from there. So a question there from Gaia. So there is additional cost for multiple users. We like to do things on a package basis. What I'd like to do is I can drop you an email with some of the further information, but we do 10 things in 1 to 10 users and then 10 plus, but we can sort of walk you through that side of things as well. If you just allow me to, bear with me 2 seconds whilst I do that side of things there. Obviously, we sort of do have a package of, for 5 users, it works out to be around £144 per user for the year. Bear with me, just check that out. So just had a question here, sort of someone says simple, advanced or qualified signatures. So we can cover all areas across the board around that side of things. So obviously it is a very simple platform to use, but we can cover qualified signatures across the platform as well. Hopefully you should all have the ability to unmute if you did want to ask any questions physically. Please feel free to unmute as well. Whilst I'm here, I will bring that QR code back up on screen for everyone. So if you haven't had the chance to sign up as of yet, hopefully that is now back on the screen for everyone to see. So the current integrations we have is via a direct API. So we can integrate into most platforms, but if you are looking for more of a bespoke type of integration, these are coming shortly into the likes of platforms of some names to mention. Salesforce is potentially coming in the future, but we can integrate into most platforms via a direct API. This will require a little bit of technical support with any IT team you have internally, but it's not very complicated. There is an additional cost to this side of things, but I'm happy to walk you through what that would look like.